I was attempting to be hopeful with my husband this morning, and it's his last Friday. He's retiring, so it's like he has like 2 more days left of work after today. So it's really exciting, but he's scared because we're getting divorced, and it's two really big life changes, and uh, and his retirement's a lot in the stock market, which is just terrifying right now. And and then I was trying to make him feel better, like because we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And then he also asked if I was gonna go to the No Kings protest, and I said no, I don't think I'm going to this time. I've been to a bunch of the other ones, or I've been to all of the other ones, and I said I just don't think I'm going to this time. I think I'm going to stay in home and work on my garden, and we have like a birthday party to go to, for one of the kids and stuff. And he was kind of surprised, and I said, and this is no shade to anyone doing it, just said I don't really see the point. I said I feel like the protest is kind of fighting for a system that I don't think exists anymore, and we just don't know how much the system doesn't exist anymore, because of how bad it is. And so, like, I was talking about how, like, here's all of things, like, freaking me out a little bit. So I was like, well, like, I'm terrified. Like, I think a lot of our structures within government and systems within government are gone. I'm a former federal employee. So just things like the Department of Education was pretty much gutted, gone. The fact that, we just said that we are insolvent. Like, what was that? The Department of Treasury says that the U.S. is insolvent. As a former federal employee, they are doing things like, I know, like, I was in GIS and, like, mapping, and so they've now classified all of the mapping as IT. So what that means, IT is handled, instead of at, like, the agency level, it's handled at the department level, really strict budgets. And so what it means now is if we have, like, a contract, I say we, but if they do, like, a contract to, like, build a fence, and then somebody was supposed to GPS that fence and give us, that GPS line of the new fence so that we can put it in as one of the requirements into our data systems. That's now an IT, which pretty much blows up the entire contract. Because they had that GPS in there. So, like, systems are collapsing. I'm terrified of, well, not terrified, but it's just like, then you have the helium shortage, which we were already worried about supply chains, and that's why the South Korean stock market, crashed a bit, because they're worried about chip manufacturing, because I think it's helium that's, that we now have like a 17% like production drop in. Well, that's a requirement for microchips. But then the microchips, so they had a stock market collapse because they're worried about microchip manufacturing and the global supply chains. But then the microchips are also required for all of the AI stuff. And so I'm worried about, like, well, I think the AI bubble's bursting, because we just saw that OpenAI is canceling their video platform. Disney pulled out, like, their $1 billion investment from OpenAI. So I think the AI bubble's collapsing. So yeah, I just think the whole system's collapsing. So it's like, why go protest? Trying to save a system that I don't want to save. Like, I think it needs to collapse. I think it's gonna collapse. I think it's collapsing before our very eyes. I don't think we even realize the full extent of how bad the collapse is. Like, I think it is being revealed to us when we finally get to the points of them being undeniable. So yeah, I think it's going to be really, really bad. And I think it's a better use of my time to try to plant a garden, so that I make sure we have extra vegetables and food, and that I can share them. Because I think, if not this summer, this winter is going to be rough. And so I said all that to him on his last Friday of work and he was getting to leave. And I said, did I make you feel better? And he goes, no. And so I don't know why I say all of that. I have so much hope, and I think we're going to be okay. And I think it's going to be rough, and I think it's going to be scary, and I think we're going to be all right. But that's why I'm not protesting this weekend. I just don't know if I feel like I would be trying to uphold a system that I don't really want to uphold anymore. And I'm just going to spend my day doing other things. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's my outlook of the world right now.